He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way you like. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the last bastion of sanity for this portion of the internet. I give to you the Last Vox. My name, of course, is Matt, and I want you to grab your favorite beverage, sit back, relax, and realize you are, without a doubt, one of the most intelligent people on the planet, according to whomever we cover on this show. How's it going, everybody? Yes, there is sound. I had to open up my mic and stuff like that. There was no Streamlabs updates, so I was able to do things normally. So, oh man, do I have stuff to talk to you guys about today. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and say hello to the wonderful people who are in chat. And I see Mitzi, of course, was first. Haster was second. Ishtar coming in a close third. Really upset she couldn't steal it from Mitzi. Nathan Marcano taking his reign as honorable mention once again. How's it going, the four of you? And then we have Zaw here. How's it going, Zaw? Ray is here, says Yavol, mine commentator. How's it going? Leader, what's up? I hope you're feeling better, man. I really do. I know you've been going through some really tough times. Get yourself taken care of, dude. It's something that needs to happen. I would love to play if you play Overwatch. I'll get to that in a second. I'd love to play Overwatch with you or Among Us or something like that again. It was fun. So, Sir Wolf, how's it going? Malik is here. How's it going, my man? And then we have Ali coming in. And, everything's going good. How's it going, Ali? I hope you're feeling better as well. And Twisted Skipster, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you doing? So we have some interesting things to talk about. But first, I want to talk about. So I did stream last night on Cyber Demon Gaming, and I had a few people show up, which is great. And I have the lack of keyboard skills in gaming. Let's say I'm okay with games like Raft or Minecraft or things like that, where it's not active. But Overwatch, you're allowed to use your controller for the PC. And when I first loaded up Overwatch a while ago, I was able to actually get the controller to work. Last night, I could not. So, I am learning how to use keyboard and mouse for Overwatch. It's basically starting all over from the beginning. And it's that as well because I am starting with a brand new account. Because I'm using the PC instead of PS4. So, in one streaming session, I was reminded as to why I enjoyed Overwatch. Because I had never played with Echo before. I stopped playing before she showed up. And her character is extremely fun to play. She's a DPS. She can copy abilities. She's got some great abilities of her own. It was extremely fun to play. As I started getting into playing with Echo, I was then reminded as to why I stopped playing Overwatch, and I was only playing against AI. I wasn't playing against actual people. I was playing with people. Because I'm learning, so I don't want to screw up someone else's actual game. I'd rather just screw up against the computer. We had a healer who picked one of the best healers in the game, picked Mercy, and did not know how to use Mercy. Just decided that they were going to be Battle Mercy the entire time, which is not good for someone who has like 100 or like 200 health and is about as squishy as squishy can be. So I was reminded how badly it can go within the last two games of playing, because we also had a team going up against. Now this is hard AI, so they do have some tactics. It's not just them running in and getting decimated by players. They have some strategies. I was reminded why I hate playing with people, and I would rather play with a group, so we can coordinate and things like that. They didn't want to group up. They weren't picking the right players. They weren't we had one tank and they weren't doing anything. We had a healer, weren't doing anything. So it doesn't mean anything because it's not competitive, but it's that. So it's a really weird experience. Like, I was super hyped to get back into Overwatch last night. Super excited to play it again. Blonde, one of the Adventurers Guild, plays Overwatch, and it's something that she's really good at, and I used to be good at it, and I want to get back to that, but I am learning, so it's going to be a bit. But it's really interesting how quickly you're reminded about how you don't like something, how frustrating it can get. And my choices of games over the last, I guess you could say, week, have been limited to a few. I'll play Magic the Gathering on my off time because it's still one of my favorite pastimes. It's been a hobby of mine since 1994. Why stop now? But I've been playing that, and I don't know if you guys know a game called Honey Pop. Honey Pop came out, I think, like 10 years ago? And it's basically a match 3 dating sim game that's got a really great sense of humor. It's got really beautiful girls, lots of great art. It's got a pretty interesting and funny story. Well, the developer of that, who is working by himself, mind you, came out with another game called Honeycam Studio, which was not as good as Honey Pop, but it was a cam girl simulator where it got real. You could send your cam girls out to meet fans, and they could come back with certain diseases. And, yeah, that was interesting. But he finally came out with Honey Pop 2. So that's the game I've been playing. So, Magic the Gathering, a strategy card game that's kind of a mix between chess and poker. Then my other option is Honey Pop, which is a match 3 dating sim. I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077 and then Overwatch. It's been a very weird set of games for me. And it kind of encompasses what we're talking about today, because I got a lot of different topics for you guys. And I do want to say the majority of them are going to kind of be a what the fuck thing. Not crazy ridiculous like last week, but it's definitely going to be crazy ridiculous. Sorry guys, I'm missing the chat here. Twisted Skipster says been a rough time, been around just lurking. Well, I'm glad you're here. I hope things have been easing up for you. Sorry, I did not. I was on a date with a girl. That's fine, Wolf. Let's see. Mercy DPS. No items, Fox. Only Final Destination. Let's see. Ali's going to be back later. That's fine. 94. Watch out there, Matt. You're going to tell your age now. Well, so, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm sure most of you in the chat do. I'm going to be getting married on June 6th. That will be 2 months before I turn 40. So, I'm hitting the big 40, and it's not necessarily scary, just someplace I never thought I was going to get. How's it going, King? Just stopping by to say hello. That's fine, too. Malik says 1994, the year I was born. Didn't know it was around for that long. Magic actually started in 1993. 94 is when it I wouldn't say goes mainstream, but it went from alpha to beta, and people were playing. And then there was 3rd edition and 4th edition. 3rd edition is called Revised. 4th edition took out all the power cards of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd edition. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. You guys didn't come here to listen to me ramble about playing video games, right? You came here for some sanity, from safe spaces, from insanity, and that's what I'm here to give you, because we're going to talk about some stuff, and I have some interesting things that we're going to go over, but we're going to start with, well, an article that was given to me. I don't know if he's in the chat right now, but Gnostic gave this to me. He's a recent returner to the chat. And let's see, Twisted Skipster says that is my son's 2nd year anniversary. Congratulations to them for that, and I'll probably do it. If you remind me, I'll say congratulations then too. And then Wolf says I'm 6 years older than you. how the heck did I keep my color? What, you're talking about my hair? Not a damn thing. I actually have gray in my beard. I have some gray on my head. And if you guys can't tell, I have my natural facial hair. It goes from blonde to gray. Or to gray. Blonde to dark brown. So I have some red in here as well. I don't know why, it just does that. So I am getting some gray. I have a feeling I'm going to be doing the salt and pepper thing for a while. But this was given to me by Gnostic, and it's kind of an update on a video Antoine did a while ago about how math was apparently racist. And he kind of tore that apart. And then, late last year we had 2 plus 2 actually equals 5 if you spin the numbers the right way, or you squint really, really hard, 2 plus 2 can equal 5. So now, math is racist. Now, I've shown you guys a bunch of articles about how owning a dog is racist. I've shared articles on Twitter about how wearing a tie is racist. Everything. You throw a dart at a dartboard filled with topics, and there is probably an article somewhere saying that it's racist. But we have a lot. This is gonna go into some other stuff that we're talking about. Ray says, "Well, the number 4, when written the other way, kind of looks like the guy giving the Nazi salute." Woo. I don't think turning 40 is scary. It's just, it's hitting that midway point where your body starts actually breaking down. And I am going back to the gym, I've been eating better, trying to get weight out of there and trying to lose weight. So 40 is when your body starts taking on permanency. It's harder to lose weight. It's harder to get that shape back. So I am worried about it, but not in the sense of being scared. How's it going, Taco Stanzia? I'm just gonna call you Taco. So, all right, you guys want to know how math is racist? Well, let's go ahead and show you how math is racist. Adding wokeness. Oregon promotes teacher program to subtract racism in mathematics. How do I undisable my Patreon? I do not know. I've no clue. I think you can go in and just... I have no idea. How's it going, Herb? Alright. The Oregon Department of Education. Now, the reason why I'm covering this is actually Gnostic, the person who gave me this article, is actually in the Oregon Department of Education. He's a teacher. Recently encouraged teachers to register for training that encourages ethnomathematics. That's a real word. Someone came up with that. And argues, among other things, that white supremacy manifests itself in the focus on finding the right answer. Oh, I know where this is going. An ODE newsletter sent last week advertised on February 21st, Pathway to Math Equity Microcourse, which is designed for middle school teachers to make use of a toolkit for dismantling racism in mathematics. Because math apparently is racist. I don't know how, but sure. The event website identifies the event as a partnership between California's San Mateo County Office of Education, because of course it's California, and the Education Trust West and others. Part of the toolkit includes a list of ways white supremacy culture allegedly infiltrates math classrooms. Those include the focuses on getting the right answer, students being required to show their work, and other alleged manifestations. Hold on. Getting the right answer is white supremacy. So actually doing the work and finding out that the square root of 16 is 4 getting that right answer in something that is factually based like numbers, that does not have feelings involved, that does not have a wishy-washy answer, that does not have any gray area whatsoever, finding the right answer for it is white supremacy. Okay, add on top of that, showing your work or requiring students to show their work is now also considered white supremacy? How? How is it? Just fucking how? I have no idea how it could be considered, because it causes them to fucking think that's what white supremacy is? Come on. This is fucking stupid. The fact that someone could come up with this and actually push it through into the education system, and not for high schoolers who can think for themselves, not for college students who are doing things like quantum physics or quantum mathematics, where there is a gray area in fake numbers and things like that, or numbers that are so infinite that it couldn't possibly register anything. We're talking about middle school mathematics. So introduction to algebra, advanced math. They want to teach kids that showing your work is racist. Okay. Alright. No. No. Ray says, does this mean the teachers need to start axing questions 13% of the time? Ooh, Ray. Nathan says, the fact ethnomathematics is a word that doesn't get you laughed out of the profession makes me depressed. You're not wrong. Hey, what's the square root of 69? 8 something. Yeah, that's... Don't show your work at all. Just kind of guess, and it should be right. Don't show your work. Don't get math right. Don't know your basic multiplication tables. Don't know your basic addition, subtraction, or division. And give yourself some money in your bank account, and then pay some bills, and see how good a meh answer is. Not getting the right amount, not getting the right dollar amount in your bank account. Let's see how that works out for you, because I can guarantee you that they're not going to give a flying fuck if you think that 2 + 2 = 5. If their bill is $4 and you give them 3 because, well, it's almost the answer, you're going to get charged for it. If you go overdrafted, your bank is going to charge you for it. I didn't miss the joke, Ray. The concept of mathematics being purely objective, which is unequivocally false. The teaching it is even much less so. The document for equitable math, because that's a thing. We're getting equity in answers now. Equitable math. Toolkit reads, upholding the idea that there are always right and wrong answers perpetuate objectivity as well as a fear of open conflict. What? Sure, if you considered conflict being anything as simple as saying, I'm sorry, you got the wrong answer, to comparatively the Middle Eastern conflicts, being told you're wrong isn't a bad thing. It makes you realize that you were wrong and go back and fix the answer. This is another part of that whole everybody gets a fucking participation trophy. Everyone gets to feel good about what they do. We can't fail any people in math because, well, it makes them feel bad. So what? So what if they feel bad? I don't care. I don't need an accountant to tell me that my money is almost as good as what it actually is. Because there have been lawsuits about the misplacement of a decimal point. And we're telling students that it's okay to not show their work. We're going to be telling students that it's not okay, or that it's okay to get wrong answers. You're right. For that point, it is okay to get wrong answers. But you have to correct the answer. You can't just leave it wrong, because that means it's still a wrong answer. The ODE, led by Colt Gill, who I agree with Ishtar, can guarantee he's bad at math, and this is how he's trying to hide it, confirmed the letter to Fox News. ODE Communications Director Mark Siegel also defended the equitable math, because of course he did. He wants those woke head pats. He wants to feel good about things, saying it helps educators learn key tools for engagement. No, what it does is it tells educators that they're not allowed to tell their students that they got something wrong, and you're just supposed to pass them through, so they become high schoolers who are dumb and are people who believe that, MMS cures cancer. We will get into that. Let's see, what else? Helps learn tools for engagement, develop strategies to improve equitable outcomes for Black, Latinx, and multilingual students, and join communities of practice. This is the bigotry of low expectations. This is, for those of you who don't understand what the bigotry of low expectations means, it means that your expectations of the minority groups are so fucking low that you need to actively help them and give them a handicap for them to be able to even be on par with white folk. It's bigotry at its finest. It's racism at its best. It is the bigotry of low expectations. The Black, the Latinx, which no Latino I know actually calls themselves that, and multilingual students are in their eyes are so fucking dumb that they actually need help, that they have to be given these biases, that they have to be given these leg ups in order to make them feel good about themselves, so that they can then pass on into other grades. They can graduate with that GED. I know those are two different things, but that's what I'm talking about. They're going to drop out, but it's going to be okay because they're being told by all of their teachers it's okay to be bad. It's okay to be wrong. As long as you got that GED, you're fine. This is fucking stupid. How's it going, Moon-Based Radio? Let's see. You guys are talking about something. What? History is written by the winners. It has been that way since dawn of man. You're right, Skipster. Haster says, but you missed the most important part. The idea of money is somehow white supremacy too. Yeah, I know. They believe that as well. So is time. Apparently keeping time is also white supremacy. Let's see. Moonbase Radio says, so let me get this straight. It's racist if you don't want black and brown children to be smart. Yes! Yes, Moon-Based Radio, you are correct. It's racist to expect them to be intelligent, to persevere, to be able to show their work, to be able to be as smart as white kids. Joe Biden probably signs off on this because he thinks that poor kids can be just as smart as white kids. Yeah, that's an actual quote from Joe Biden. Nathan says, ironically, the people pushing this are the actual white supremacists. Again, you're not wrong. Moonbase Radio says, if anybody ever called me Latinx to my face, I would kick the ever-loving shit out of them. When Ishtar asks, why do all your articles on this show piss me off? Because this is a sanity safe space. We are breaking down... We are breaking down the insanity for people to actually be able to go out and talk about this stuff. And I know I'm kind of ripping off Matt Christensen with the sanity safe space thing, but this is a bastion for sanity. This is a pillar of what I want sanity to be, for discussion, for understanding. So I apologize if it's upsetting you, but this is the idiocy that we deal with on a daily basis. Let's see. An associated Dismantling Racism workbook. It's good that they have workbooks. Linked within the toolkit similarly identifies objectivity, described as the belief that there is such a thing as being objective or neutral as a characteristic of white supremacy. There you go, guys. Object permanence. That's stuff that we learned when we were about 5 years old. The stuff that we learned that when we pick something up, it's permanent. And when we set it down, it's still there. That's what object permanence is. Your brain registering that what you're looking at is real. Most kids don't have it until about the age of 4.5, 5 years old. Object permanence, that's racist. Being neutral on a topic, that's racist. And that actually fits with what they say. It's not enough just to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist. Well, it's really easy to be anti-racist. You have to be understanding that racism is bad. And most people understand that. But it's not just that. They want to show you how racist you are if you have a specific skin color. Oh, God. Object permanence, objectivity, and being neutral. Hey, I guess that makes Boogie racist. That makes Tim Pool racist. That makes anyone who is a centrist, because technically they are neutral, they're racist. Someone who says that they don't believe in equity, they actually believe in equality, they're racist too. It's a good thing that there's a workbook with this, because goddamn, if I had to take this, I would be fucking lost. Instead of focusing on one right answer, the toolkit encourages teachers to come up with at least 2 answers that might solve this problem. Alright. Here's how you get 4. Ray, you have 2 apples. Za, you have 2 apples. Ray, you give Za your 2 apples. Za now has how many apples? Everyone knows Za now has 4 apples. That is object permanence. That is the correct answer. And there's 100 different ways that you could write that. It could simply be Ray, Malik, Za, and Sir Wolf all have 1 apple. Ray gives Malik his 1 apple. Za gives Nathan his 1 apple. Did I say Nathan? I don't know. I don't care. You get what I'm saying. How many apples do they have? Well, now Malik now has 2. Nathan now has 2. They give each other 2. Malik gives Nathan his 2 apples. How many apples do they have? 4! The answer is still 4. It's not 5. It's not 3. It's not 27. It's 4. If you eat 1, then you're not hungry anymore. Nope. Okay. Am I back? Okay. There doesn't need to be... You can get 100 different ways to get 4. What they're saying is the answer, it has different answers. That's the problem. It is butterfly. Skipster says, see, that's just it. You would say, where is the formula for Greek fire? Where is the way to make Viking, can't remember his name, steel? Yeah. Alright, let's see. It adds, challenge standardized test questions by getting the right answer, but justify other answers by unpacking the assumptions that are made in the problem. Why? Why do you need to do that? Like, everybody knows the math joke of, train A leaves the station at 60 miles an hour, train B is leaving at the station at 25 miles an hour. How many miles does it take both of them before they collide on the train tracks? Stuff like that. Math questions can get really fucking crazy. If you're trying to solve the problem, and I keep using 2 + 2 = 4 because it's simple math everybody can understand. So if you're trying to get the answer of 2 + 2 = 4, why do you need to theorize or unpack the possibilities that it could be 3 or it could be 5? We're not dealing with 2.5 plus 2.5 equals 5. We're dealing with the whole number 2 plus the whole number 2 equals 4. It's not 1.5 plus 2.5 equals 4. That's not how it works. We're not doing decimal points. We're not doing fractions. We're not doing any of that. It's 2 plus 2 equals 4. You don't need to open up and have a discussion by unpacking why you got the wrong answer. It's math. Math is one of those absolutes that are always there. It's always there. It's like fucking gravity. Until the Earth stops spinning and then gravity kind of goes away. But you understand what I'm saying. It's like, it's something permanent. Okay? It's like the desk that I have my shit on. It's like the soda can that I have. Your sense of, your skin, your hand, your bones, they're all there. They're permanently there. You can definitely understand that those are there. You don't unpack. You don't need to be in middle school and unpack the philosophies behind, well, this can of Diet Dr. Pepper isn't actually in my hand. Because if you think about it nihilistically, it's already gone. This is fucking middle school. This is not college philosophy. This is not college quantum physics. To where this can actually exists in another dimension, but I'm mentally holding it in my hand because I am sending my conscious form to a different set in time. This is middle schoolers. They need to actually understand the basics before you start getting into the crazy shit. And if you give them this, if you give them this little bit to where they can say, well, my teacher said that 2 plus 2 could actually possibly equal 5, and we had a full half-hour discussion about why 2 plus 2 could equal 5, even though the answer was 4, you're giving them ways to weasel out of being able to hold responsibility and do things. You're giving them something to where that they don't have to have responsibility for their wrong actions, for the wrong answers. Ishtar is losing her shit. Why are the teachers not shooting this crap down? You know what? I wish Gnostic was here. I'd bring him on and we could actually ask him, since he's part of this. He's part of the school district. Let's see. Challenge standardized test questions. That I can actually agree with. Okay. School is no longer about learning, right? I think we can all agree on that. When you get into high school, when you get into college, it's not about learning anymore. It's not about pushing ideas. Even in middle school, it's about teaching kids the basics and teaching them to pass tests. So yeah, I agree with challenging standardized tests. Give them something different. Give them something that is actually going to push them to learn something. But don't question standardized test questions because you want to make 2 plus 2 equals 7. Okay? That's not the right answer. Let's see. It also encourages teachers to center ethnomathematics, which includes a variety of guidelines, because we know those are actual rules. One of them instructs educators to identify and challenge the ways that math is used to uphold capitalist, imperialist, and racist views. Ask middle schoolers. If you don't know what middle school is, or you forget what middle school is, and you're old enough like Ray, myself, and Wolf, where middle school is kind of foggy, that's 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They're like 11 and 12. 13. They don't know what capitalism is. They don't know what imperialism is. And they damn sure don't necessarily understand what racism is until it gets to Black History Month, and then they all learn about it. And they all start wanting to be like Martin Luther King Jr., or there are some that want to be like Malcolm X. But come on. You want middle schoolers to challenge and identify the ways that math is used to uphold capitalist, imperialist, and racist views. Please tell me how numbers uphold racist views. There's nothing there. There is no race to numbers. The newsletter surfaced amid a broader uproar over critical race theory and diversity training sessions in government entities. For example, a media frenzy erupted last year after the controversial graphic on whiteness surfaced from National Museum for African American History and Culture, which had the concept of having a job long term, working forward into the job and getting more responsibility, being on time, and setting a schedule were all magically racist. The joke is there is a such thing as black people time. Right? Everybody knows that joke. Black people time is they show up 20 minutes after what they were supposed to. Technically, Ishtar is always on black people time because she is always 10 to 20 minutes late to whatever she needs to be doing. So, but holding up a schedule and time, and things like that. Now math is racist. The museum graphic broke the aspects and assumptions of whiteness into categories such as rugged individualism and history. For example, under future orientation, the graphic listed delayed gratification and planning for the future as ideas spread by white culture. You hear that? You hear that, guys? White people who plan for their future, or people who plan for their future in general, are spreading white culture. That's not a bad thing! Planning for your future? Not spending your entire check on frivolous things and planning for your rent? Not spending your entire life savings on bullshit things? Or tax returns are coming up, instead of taking your entire tax return and buying that brand new TV, that 75-inch, 80-inch, flat screen, 4K, Amazon Fire Stick enabled, Wi-Fi enabled TV that Walmart is putting out at that a really amazing price that they know because of market research everyone is getting a certain amount. They know, instead of buying it on that, I don't know, buy into your future, save a little bit of it. You got a wedding that you got planned, maybe put aside some from your check and not be selfish and, do stuff like that. Oh, you have a kid and you want them to go to college? For fuck's sake, don't let them go to college. Put them in a trade school instead. They'll actually survive and they'll actually get a good paying job. But you want to pay for that? You want to save for that? You know what? That's spreading racism because you're planning for your future. You're planning for your kid's future. But apparently, according to this, you have to dismantle all of that because you are a racist piece of shit if you try and do something like that. Fuck these people. I swear to God, I didn't know that this article was going to annoy me as much as it is, but knowing that they're trying to get object permanence, they're trying to get being neutral, they're trying to push for the fact, and on middle schoolers, all of this stuff, I don't actually say that they do indoctrinate kids, and schools are indoctrinating them into this woke ideology. But shit like this, I can flat out say you're trying to teach to kids who have no idea what you're teaching them and are just going to repeat it and spout it verbatim just so they can get an A. They're going to be indoctrinated into this way of thinking. And the way that indoctrination works, one of the best examples is that there was a zoo that put out it was kind of a test. And what they would do is they put a ladder in the middle of an orangutan enclosure. And at the top of the ladder was fruit and food. And every single time the first group, and I'm emphasizing first group of I think it was 10 orangutans, anytime one of them would get close to the ladder, they would spray them with water. And they would push them away. So I think it was after a couple weeks, anytime an orangutan in that group would go towards the ladder, the other orangutans would go beat them up and stop them from going up the ladder. And then the researchers would slowly take out one orangutan and put in a brand new one. And that orangutan would eventually go, oh look, there's food, and go towards the ladder, and the orangutans would beat the shit out of it. It got to a point where they didn't have to spray water at them anymore. And by the end of the research, they had replaced all of the original group of orangutans. And those the second group had no idea about being sprayed with water to go up the ladder. They just knew going up the ladder was a bad thing. That's indoctrination. They have no idea what these kids are going to continue to learn about this, and they're going to continue to spout this, and eventually they're just going to not understand that this is not how things are done. It's just something that they can get an A for. This is fucking stupid. Just absolutely ridiculous. I could go on. How much longer is this? There's way too much. I don't want this entire show to be about this article, but I do have some more school stuff. I have some more school stuff for you guys. We're talking about racism in math. Well, how about the NYC public schools asking parents to reflect on their whiteness? That's right. Reflect on your whiteness. Wolf says, I still cannot see how math is racist. I cannot wrap my head around it when math was not invented by white people. You're not the only one. You're absolutely not the only one who can't see how math is racist. But apparently, white parents are being asked by New York public schools to reflect on their whiteness. I didn't believe it when I heard it, and then I've heard other people talking about this. And yes, Ishtar, I agree. We are homeschooling our child when we have one. A city public school principal is asking parents to reflect on their whiteness, passing out literature that extols white traitors who dismantle institutions, education officials confirmed to the Post on Tuesday. How's it going, Steve? Yeah, you are late, but that's fine. You came in the middle of a rant. I think you're fine. The woke offensive at the East Side Community School in Manhattan features a ranking list titled The 8 White Identities, which ranges from white supremacist to white abolitionist. The curriculum, written by Barner Hasse, an associate professor of African American Studies at Northwestern University in Illinois, claims there is a regime of whiteness and there are action-oriented white identities. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but the Caucasians, the white people out there, if you are white in the chat, I know Ray is a minority, he's a Sasquatch. I don't know what skin color he is underneath his mass amounts of hair. But for those of you who are white, did you know that worldwide, you're the minority? Worldwide. The world itself, I think, is about 30% white people. Everything else, every other skin color is a majority. There's a white regime that is being spread through the American people that needs to be stopped, apparently. I don't know what this regime is. Like we just talked about, according to them, planning for your future is something that white people are responsible for planning for futures, having a set time schedule, even though white people didn't invent time or the calendar or the 24-hour cycle. We're being held accountable for it, so yeah, I'll take that. We have to, there's a regime of whiteness. And we have to talk about that. We have to talk about the fact that most of the first world countries are white-run countries. Now, people will say that those countries are colonialist, and they built those countries and became first world countries on slavery. And those same people also believe that if white people didn't show up in Africa, that Africa would suddenly become Wakanda. But, I mean, it's a mixed bag. The curriculum written... I already said that. People who identify with whiteness are one of these. Hesse writes, above the 8 points. I talked about it a couple weeks ago. I didn't bring it up because I couldn't find the article. But there is a San Diego professor that came out to talk about how whiteness and white identity and white supremacy is explainable by being just an idea. And that way, that you can answer things like, how come the leader of the Proud Boys, a white supremacist movement, is black? Well, he exudes white supremacy. He exudes the white supremacist idea. White supremacy doesn't have to be from white people. It's actually all people, as long as they don't agree with you. So I don't understand how this is just another way that they can label people that they don't like as being something, so that they can then take that and argue against that instead of the person. See, I can say, I'm sorry, Ray, I've been picking on you a lot this episode. Ray, you're a white supremacist. Now, I may have no basis in that. Ray could be completely black. Ray could be black. He could be brown. He could be yellow. He could be purple. He could be orange. He could be red. It doesn't matter. I could label him as a white supremacist. And then I don't have to talk about any of his ideas. I don't have to argue against anything he says. I can just say, well, Ray's a white supremacist. That's why he thinks that way. He thinks just like all these other white supremacists out there. Don't listen to him. Don't agree with him. If you agree with him, you're a bigot. That's why they want to label this. That's how they want. Pass out one afternoon on the beach. Hey, I've done that before. You don't turn red. You don't turn red. You become a lobster. But it's just another way. It's just another way to label somebody. And I, for one, have been someone who has tried, and Antoine has tried it too, to talk to people about their ideas. Make fun of them for their ideas, not who they are. If your idea is shit, if your idea is, I don't know, let's take Brianna Wu, for example. I don't like Brianna Wu. I think she's a moron. Now, do I care what she looks like? No. Why? Because I'm not fucking her. I don't find her attractive. But I don't make fun of her for that. What I make fun of her for is for her saying that we don't need white supremacists going to the moon because they could take moon rocks and throw them at the earth and destroy major cities. That's fucking dumb. I don't have to be insulting to AOC. I don't care if she looks like the epitome of don't stick your dick in crazy. I don't care if she looks like the child of Oprah Winfrey and Mr. Ed. Okay? I don't make fun of her for her looks. I make fun of her because she pushed the Green New Deal, which is a 5-page bill that has nothing to do with green sources and renewable energy, but has everything to do with redistribution of wealth and anything like, and basically propping up minorities. That's dumb. These people, they don't want to fight against your ideas because they can't. Because if you actually sit down and say, you know, black people are white supremacists. No, they're not. What would be the point of them being white supremacists? They're not white. Well, that's logic. That's facts. You can't argue that. But instead, you can label them as a white supremacist, and then you can argue that instead. Let's get into this stupid shit. It's about time we build an ethnography of whiteness. Ethnography. Ethnography. Since white people have been the ones writing about and governing others. It's not just white people. There are countries in Africa that are governed by black people. They make laws. There are countries in the Middle East that are governed by Middle Eastern people, brown people. They're not white. I mean, then there's Australia, which is just governed by criminals, but that's fine. What the fuck is this idiot talking about? In between the two extreme identities of being a supremacist or an abolitionist are such categories as white voyeurism. That's a category on Pornhub. Defined as wouldn't challenge a white supremacist, desires non-whiteness because it's interesting. What? I'm going to read that again, please. Someone in the chat, if you're listening, please try and explain this definition. White voyeurism. Defined as wouldn't challenge a white supremacist and desires non-whiteness because it's interesting. Are they talking about cultural appropriation? What do they mean, not challenge a white supremacist? I can guarantee if there's a white supremacist out on the street and doing the Nazi salute and screaming Mein Kampf and reading from Hitler's playbook, everyone, white, black, brown, and otherwise, are going to say something and going to have an issue. There was a video on Twitter that came out 2 days ago, on Friday. It is a video of a black dude beating the living fuck out of another black person in the Bronx with a baseball bat. I didn't listen to it, but I watched it. And there was not a single person that stopped them. With actual violence. Actual violence taking place. This guy beat the dude with a baseball bat until he was on the ground and unconscious, which usually means the guy is going to die. Nobody did a fucking thing. But I guarantee you, if that dude was in the Bronx, and he was white, and he was screaming about Hitler and shit like that, there would be tons of people saying something. Let's continue. It says, and white privilege or sympathetic to a set of issues but only privately, won't speak/act in solidarity publicly because benefiting through whiteness in public. Some POC are in this category as well. So white privilege is basically what they're saying. People who would rather stay quiet. They're the ones who are centrists. They're the ones that are neutral. They're the white people who won't actively be anti-racist. They're the ones who will actually just kind of sit back on Twitter and hit the like button or hit the retweet button. They won't act out like everyone else. Oh, here are the white identities. There's white supremacist, white voyeurism, white privilege, white benefit, white confessional, white critical, white traitor, and white abolitionist. And they want everyone, they want everyone to be where that little white line is in there. They want everyone to be at the white abolitionist stage. They want everyone who is not white to be gone. We get that. We have that in this world already. It's called the Congo. There's Just look up all the conflicts in the Congo. And how many times the regime changes. And how violent the regime changes are. The handout was accompanied by a color-coordinated meter with a red zone on the left titled White Supremacist, and the green zone on the far right labeled White Abolitionist. The New York City Department of Education official told the Post that some parents at the school, which caters to 6th through 12th graders on the Lower East Side, first shared the material with staff. The principal then disseminated it to every parent as part of a series of materials meant for reflection and as food for thought. No, that's called propaganda. Because you're handing it to kids and young teens. The DOE rep said in a statement, anti-racism and the celebration of diversity is at the core of our work on behalf of the young people of New York City and the East Side Community School students. Parents and staff partner together to advance equity in their community. They keep using that word equity. They used equity in the last article too. They don't want equality. And I've said this before, Antoine has said this before, they don't want equality, they want equity. And equity is fucking impossible. Equity means everyone gets an equal share. It's impossible. But here's the caveat to that. They don't want an equal share for everything. They want an equal share for those high-paying jobs. The ones that come with the most paycheck. They don't want an equity of sewage workers. They don't want an equity of construction workers. They don't want an equity of garbage men. They don't want equity of the draft. They want equity of money. Now, let's take a pie. Okay? Now, it's easy to say equality. Men and women both get half the pie. Right? That's easy. Men and women be treated equally. One gets one half, one gets the other. Now let's add equity to that. Well, we now have to take both of those halves and cut those in half, because now we need equity for white men and black men, white women and black women. Can't forget about the Latinx groups. So now those get cut into thirds. Wait, we can't forget about Chinese, and then any Southeast Asian, Polynesian. So now, as you can see, the pie slices are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Well, now we have to take into consideration disabilities. Well, now we also have to cut each of those miniature slices in half for deaf men and women. Then we have disabled men and women, but depending on the disability, maybe blind. And then take all of those and cut them up even more into sexual identities. Do you see how convoluted it is? By the point in time you get equity for everyone, and everyone gets that equity in representation, you don't have a pie with slices. You just have a mishmash of everything. There is nothing that is distinguishable. So instead of having... I see what they're getting at, because if you look at it that way, you could say, well, all the rich people then will not have their wealth and it'll be spread amongst everybody. I've used this example before. The Walmart riches, right? The person who owns, the CEO of Walmart, makes something like $250 million a year. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. So they say, well, why don't you just take what he makes and spread it amongst the people? Instead of giving it to him. He's a CEO. He doesn't work hard. Okay. All right. We'll do that. I'll bring up a calculator real quick. And I don't know what his actual thing is, but I'm going to bring it over. Okay. You see the calculator? So 250 million. Right? That's how much money he makes. We're going to do simple division. divided by 325 million, or 26 million, because that's how many people are in the country. All right. Do we want to see how much the CEO of Walmart is going to give us on our paychecks? Oh, 76 cents. Shit. Sorry, 77 cents, because they're going to round it up. We're going to get an extra 77 cents on our paycheck. Not per hour worked. Period. That's all they're going to give us. 77 cents. All right. Bill Gates. Let's do Bill Gates. Bill Gates is easy. Bill Gates was $900 million. Bill Gates is a rich motherfucker. 900 million. That's a big number, right? Well, let's go ahead. 326 million. You guys ready? This is how much Bill Gates is going to pay us in 1 year. $2! Bill Gates is going to give us $2.76. You can't do this. And if you want, we can go into the billions. Let's go Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is worth $2.6 billion. $2.6 billion. All right. Divide by 326 million. You think this is going to be a lot, guys? We're talking about billions of dollars here. Could be a lot. Promise. Oh! Jeff Bezos is going to give us $8 in a year. Just for that. It's almost going to give it. It's not even $8. It's $7.98. He's not even going to give us that extra 2 cents. I'm just rounding up to be nice. You cannot spread the wealth like this. You can't. Even if you take all of the upper class, all of the elite 1%, and you take their net worth, and that's including everything. Jeff Bezos is worth $2.6 billion. He doesn't have $2.6 billion. But let's say he had $2.6 billion in liquid assets. He's got it stuffed underneath his fucking mattress for some reason, instead of in stocks, bonds, and in bank accounts and everything like that. Let's say, and property and whatever and whatever else. Let's say he's got $2.6 billion. We're going to take that as his net worth. Take the net worth of all the elites, the upper 1%, and that includes small mom and pop stores that make $450,000 a year, compared to Bill Gates is $900 million and Jeff Bezos $2.6 billion. You add all of them up. You add it all up. And you divide it equally amongst every single person in this country. In America. I can guarantee you. Guarantee you. That at best, it's going to be, and this is a one-time payment, at best, $2,000. And then they have no money left. And then they become the 98% like the rest of us, and we have no infrastructure. We have no one running companies. But everybody got that $2,000 to go pay for those TVs and a down payment on a car and pay rent and shit like that. Well, wait. They're going to get all that money back, right? We're buying shit. Well, no. They're not going to get it back. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but Ishtar has a group called the Adventurers Guild. I'm part of it. Blondzilla is part of it. And Wren and Igor are part of it. And I'm only using me, Ishtar, and Blondzilla for this example. We all have subscribers on Twitch. You're not partnered, but you are monetized, right? You can pay $4.99, $5 to subscribe to Ishtar. You can pay $4.99 to subscribe to me. You can pay $4.99 to subscribe to Blonde. So, we'll take this as an example. I subscribe to Ishtar for $5. Twitch takes taxes out of that. So Ishtar doesn't get the full $5. They take a percentage of it. Now it's a low percent. I think it's like 13%. But now, $5 is not $5. It's $4, and I think it's $4. It's $4 and like 60 cents. Ishtar then takes that $4.60, subscribes to Blonde. Now that's not how it works, but this is the example. That $4.60 gets subscribed to Blonde. They take 13% out of that. So you see where I'm going with this. Eventually, if we continue doing this round robin thing of subscribing per month, we are actually in debt to that $5. And that's what's going to happen to that $2,000 if we take all of the finances and all the liquid assets and everything from all of the elite 1% and divide them amongst the people. Sure, we'll get a $2,000 one-time check. But we're not going to get what we have. Amazon will crumble. eBay will be no more. Forget Walmart. You want to go to Target? Nope. Target is the upper-class Walmart. Petco's gone. All of your mom and pop stores are dead. We will lose all of our infrastructure. See, and this is the stuff that you can't have a conversation with on Twitter because they don't understand this. They just want money. They don't understand that if you did that, if you taxed the rich 100%, Bernie Sanders said that 90% of the income from people in the upper 1% was not enough. He wanted 100%. If you take that, if you take it from them and you distribute it amongst people, they don't have the money to support the businesses that you enjoy. Apple, Microsoft, AT&T, Verizon, all of those, they go away. Every Nokia, all of that stuff. Android, your phones, fucking worthless. Video game companies, fuck it. Why? They can't afford it. The infrastructure's not there. And I don't even know how we got onto this, but it's to deal with. I know we got to that from this anti-racism bullshit. So I've been going about this anti-racism stuff for over an hour. We're going to move on to something different. I hope you guys understand what I was trying to say. I hope you guys get what I was actually trying to say about all of this stuff and how stupid it is and how trying to get equity. That's what it was. They're trying to get equity. All of it is stupid. It's pointless. There is no such thing as actual equity. You can have equality. You can have everyone have equal opportunity. Everyone has an equal opportunity to answer the correct question. You can't have equity from it. It's impossible. Alright. We're going to go back to the New York Post. Last two articles were New York Post. We're going to go through this. This should be... I can hear Antoine in the other room losing his shit because I stole one of his articles. I don't care. We need something funny to laugh about. I don't know if I don't know if we did this one, or if he did this one or not. But whatever. Nathan, this one's for you. It's a Florida man article. I'm even going to take his gimmick. No, I'm not. I'm just going to tell you guys this. Florida man caught masturbating in Walmart parking lot told the cops he was lonely. This is our brain bleach, guys. This is our brain bleach for right now, because the next article after this is going to piss you all off. Aside from being pissed off already. A man who was arrested for masturbating in the parking lot of a Florida Walmart alley, stay out of the parking lot, they don't want to catch you, told police he took matters into his own hands because he missed his girlfriend. That's sad. That really is. Poor guy. The indecent incident happened Wednesday in Vero Beach, according to a police report obtained by the Smoking Gun. Cops were called after a shopper noticed the suspect's self-love session inside a Kia parked outside the store. Kia. Man, if your windows are not tinted, it's probably not the best idea. Wolf says, I'm lonely too, but smart enough not to do it publicly. I'm guessing it's Florida, so drugs probably were involved. According to the tipster, the Walmart wanker had the driver's side window down, that's one really good way of getting caught, and was performing the highly visible lewd act in broad daylight. Arriving officers said they found hard evidence of 26-year-old Kyle Weiss's guilt. I noticed that he had an obvious erection protruding from his shorts, a cop noted in the report. Man, those cops, I swear. Weiss initially told police he was at Walmart because he is an Uber Eats driver. God, I hope he washed his hands. But choked under further questioning. God. He eventually confessed he was performing a sex act on himself because he is lonely as his ex-girlfriend is in Colorado. The Denver resident told police he did not realize that he could be seen playing with himself next to the open driver's side window in broad daylight in a very public parking lot. Weiss was arrested for exposure of sexual organs and disorderly conduct and released on a $1,000 bond, according to the police document. Oh. Malik says, Matt, I would steal his articles again if I were you. This is Antoine, the great you're dealing with. Also, Allie does this kind of thing. Yes, she does. She has admitted to me that she does. Her and Mitzi have this whole thing where they try and one-up each other in getting caught or not getting caught doing these lewd and lascivious things. They share them in Ishtar's Discord in the grown-ups only section. It's really weird, but I think they're getting up to the whole trying to skydive naked thing and who's going to do it first. I believe Mitzi has challenged Allie to skydive naked, and Allie responded by saying, I challenged you, Dino Bird, with the Swiss Army butthole, to do it naked while masturbating. So it's a whole thing they have going on. It's really weird. How's it going, Cinder? Alright. We're talking about masturbation, we're talking about school. Let's talk about something fun, shall we? Let's talk about entertainment. You guys like entertainment, right? You're watching this, hopefully, for some form of entertainment. Do you guys like the Predator movies? I like the Predator movies. I even like the really bad AVP movies. I liked Predators. I kind of liked the newer Predator movie. There's a new one coming out. And there's a new Alien movie coming out too. I don't have the article for that one, but if you guys don't remember what Predator is, it is a alien that comes down to Earth to fight the best of the best to the death. To win or lose. If you lose, you die. Haster, if you haven't seen them, you should see them. They're actually really good. A lot of the Arnold memes that you see are from the original Predator. It is 80s action at its best. Just a lot of big, beefy, muscly beefcake dudes who are supposed to be a paramilitary group. It's all I need to say is that. The second one deals with Danny Glover being in LA, being the best cop ever, going head to head with fucking Alien. I mean, come on. It's got Gary Busey in it. You need to watch these. But the new Predator movie, Predator 5, has details released. New Predator 5 details reveal the main character wants to prove herself in the masculine world. That's right. This is from the same story, the same continuity of AVP, Alien vs. Predator, where a black human female was so badass, according to the Predator race, that they inducted her as an actual member of their tribe. They're going back to the well with this one. New casting and plot details have been revealed for Disney's upcoming Predator 5 film, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, because Trachtenberg's an idiot. Trachtenberg's Predator film was previously announced back in November. That initial report revealed the script was being written by Patrick Azen. I don't know who that is. No details on the plot were revealed, with Mike Fleming Jr. writing. They are keeping the plot line under wraps for the moment, but I'm told it won't swing back on or to the developments in the most recent film. So the last film kind of was a sequel / reboot. It wasn't that great. And they're basically going back on that. They're saying that didn't exist. Earlier this month, Joseph Aberl at Murphy's Multiverse claimed to reveal new details on the film. He wrote, "The film will follow a Comanche woman," where's Sparky when we need him, "who defies her culture's norms and decides to become a warrior." Hold on. I did a cringe book club talking about Seducing the Triceratops, which had a native woman defying her cultural norms, a cave woman defying her cultural norms to become a warrior in order to hunt. Well, it's confirmed. The writers of this movie watch Cringe Book Club. They have been getting their ideas from the jokes that we have made. Ray, you need to sue them because apparently they have taken your idea. Aberl went on to reveal casting information regarding this main character. She will be named Key, which means no in Comanche. Why is she named No? Along with Key, she will be joined by her brother Tabby. That means, I don't know if I'm saying that right, that means son. Sure. Is this going to be taking place in the Old West? Because, that's kind of what it sounds like. It's taking place in the Old West. Like, cultural norms, as far as I know, none of those things are still going on in the native lands today. There's no warriors. So, this could be a historical piece? Maybe? Maybe it's hearkening back to the original Predator, like going back in time? Who knows? According to Aberl, the film will revolve around the relationship between the two siblings as Tabby will eventually become chief, and he no longer requires the aid of his sister. In order to prove herself, Key sets out on her own, where she will encounter the Predator and be a young kid and still be able to best a huge alien. This is like Mulan all over again. That's what this is. This is Mulan with Predator. Mulan mixed with Pocahontas with a side of Predator and a dash of Dark Horse. Following this information, another report from Alien and Predator fan site AVP Galaxy revealed more detailed information about both Key and Tabby, as well as the plot synopsis. Real quick, Ishtar says, there is legit a tribe in Africa that women of said tribe can go out and learn to be warrior hunters and have the same status as male hunters. I read an article by someone who actually did it. The writer was related to the tribe. That's fine, but we're talking about Indians, Native Americans. We're not talking about Africans. You know, this is... I'm not saying women can't be warriors. I'm saying that this doesn't happen today in America at all. This is why we need Sparky. Sparky! Where are you? In their report, they point to casting call posted to Tribal Film Festival Facebook page back on January 8th, 2020. The casting call is for an upcoming Fox feature film called Skulls. It is believed Skulls is the current working title for the 5th Predator film. The casting calls for Key begins Key, female, 19 years old, Comanche. Her name, Key, means no in Comanche, a name she has earned by perpetually refusing to do as she is told her entire life. Oh, Ishtar's saying, I'm just saying it's a thing that already occurs. It's not special. You're right, it's not special. So that's how she got the name Key. She disobeys her family. It continues. Key is very close to her younger brother, Tabby, who is being groomed as a leader, as capable as any young man in the tribe. Key has always been a teacher and source of inspiration for Tabby. In the Comanche way, she is Patsy, the elder sister that has helped to shape him. Key is a truth teller and has insight that others do not. Because of course she does. A tomboy, she wants to prove herself in the masculine world of the Comanche. When danger threatens them all, Key sets out to prove that she is as capable as any young warrior. Here's the synopsis. Okay, so it is in the past. The casting call also includes a synopsis for the film. It reads, many years ago, in a galaxy far, far away, in a time before any Europeans had ever encroached on their lands, the Comanche people had a well-defined society and gender norms. They didn't, historically. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be racist. The Native American tribes did not have a well-defined society. They did have gender norms, yes, but the defined society did not happen. Skulls is the story of what happens when one young woman challenges the status quo to become a warrior. The last entry in the Predator franchise was The Predator, which debuted in 2018. Like I said, it's an okay movie, not the greatest. The numbers reports the film to have only grossed $159 million at the global box office and only $51 million domestically. The production budget was reportedly $88 million. That means the film flopped at the box office. What do you make of the casting call and plot synopsis? Well, what do you guys think of the plot synopsis? What do you guys think of the casting call? I'd love to know. Now, for me saying that, when I say I want to know, you can say it in the chat, but for anybody who listens to this afterwards, I'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. For those of you who don't know, the YouTube algorithm has changed once again, and comments are now the new hotness. Comments show that there are interactions with the videos. So if you guys can, after this is over, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know you guys are listening. Let me know what you think about Predator, and let me know what you think about what I heard about next. I'm going to bring it up because it was texted to me. I should be able to. Oh, it's only on YouTube. I don't want to bring that up. But I don't have an article for this. You guys know what Alien is, right? You guys know the Alien franchise. The xenomorphs, all of that. Some of the scariest creatures to have ever been created. Well, did you want to know how the Alien Queen came about? Wait, even better. Even better. Steve, it's even better than that. Did you want to know what's actually going to be happening with the Alien Queen? A new Disney movie tells the feminist origin stories of the Xenomorph Queen. The feminist origin stories of the Xenomorph Queen. I know how the Xenomorph Queen became the queen. It's a hive mind. Just like ants. They were designed that way. I don't have much on it. I don't want much on it. I don't want to see it. No one needs to see it. Boy. It's... Man... I don't get it. I don't understand the stupidity behind this stuff. Like, okay, with Predator, you want to make the lead hero female. Cool. That's fine. You don't have to push the gender norm stereotype bullshit. We don't need an origin story for the Xenomorph Queen. Fuck, we don't even need an origin story for the Xenomorphs. The one that they gave us was shit. They tried to humanize. They tried to explain away the ultimate horror villain, the ultimate horror movie monster. It didn't have... It didn't have an origin. It just was. But now we're going to get a feminist origin story on the Xenomorph Queen. Alright. You want to know what's even more batshit crazy than that? Apparently Bette Midler. For those of you who don't know who Bette Midler is, she's a stage performer. She is an actress. Everyone probably remembers her from Hocus Pocus. Well, Bette Midler is one of those vocal people on Twitter. And Bette Midler basically said God sent a deadly storm to Texas because Ted Cruz challenged the election results. Now, this is not an Onion article. This is not the Babylon Bee. This is the Washington Examiner. This is a real fucking publication. This is the Washington Examiner. Singer Bette Midler suggested to her 2 million Twitter followers that the deadly snowstorm in Texas is God's way of punishing the state's senators, Ted Cruz and John Cornyn, for raising voter fraud concerns in the 2020 presidential election. I don't even know where to start with that. I really don't. I have no idea where to even go with this. Like, that's just stupid. This is what... Okay, listen. There are celebrities on Twitter. Did you guys know this? They're on there. Stephen King is on there. If you want to go follow him for his amazing hot takes. Like blaming the people of Texas for voting Republican is why they're frozen over now. I don't know. I don't know how that equates, but sure. We can blame the people that are dying from being frozen and things like that on voting for Republicans and voting for Trump. Sure, it's Trump's fault. How? Please, explain to me. How? But, let's get into Bette Midler, shall we? Inept is the wrong word, the 3-time Grammy Award winner tweeted Tuesday as freezing temperatures gripped the southern United States, leaving millions without power. Now, for those of you who don't know why they're without power, is because the wind turbines that powered the grid froze over and left 23% of the population of Texas without power. Green energy. Oh, and the reason that it frosted over and froze and left people without power is because the people who hired the companies to create the wind turbines didn't pay for the antifreeze treatment. So yeah, I can say that's inept. But this is still progressive green energy that they all like to tout. So let's continue with what she said. Hateful, vicious, cruel might all apply. I feel for the people suffering through this weather. But hashtag God doesn't seem to like hashtag Ted Cruz or hashtag John Cornyn. Yes? Again?
It's stuck. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
These two also never recognized... I'm going to read this over because I was interrupted by Ishtar because she needed me to open a jar, like the man I am. Inept is the wrong word. Hateful, vicious, cruel might all apply. I feel for the people suffering through this weather. But hashtag God doesn't seem to like hashtag Ted Cruz or hashtag John Cornyn. These two also never recognized that hashtag Joe won. If this isn't payback, I don't know what is. Fuck you, Bette Midler. Oh, and as a side note that the Washington Examiner points out, Cornyn was not among the Republicans who objected to certifying the results of the election, technically asserting that Joe won. At least 20 people have died as a result of the devastating storm that left over 3 million people without power in the state of Texas alone. The developing tragedy has led many, including Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott, to question the strength and readiness of the state's power grid. This is unacceptable, he said in a statement, following the demand for an emergency hearing to investigate the Electric Reliability Council of Texas. Viral images of frozen windmills in Texas spread on social media as the storm hit, causing many to question the effectiveness of green energy. Wind power currently makes up about 25% of the energy production in Texas this time of year. Yes, Malik, men are known for opening jars. So yeah, apparently supporting Donald Trump and supporting conservatives is against God, which is a take, since God is also against killing unborn children, but most liberals are okay with that. I don't know where she was going with the whole God thing. That one's confusing to me. But for our last article, I have some good news for you guys. Do any of you know what the Lincoln Project was? And I do specify was. Because if you don't, what it was is it was a bunch of anti-Trumpers or never-Trumpers that were quote-unquote conservatives, but seemed to only go after Trump and push progressive ideology. Well, you didn't... Malik, come on! That's one of the jokes that many comedians go about. Like, if there were no men, how would women open jars of anything? That's like a old joke. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm too old. Like I said, I'm gonna be pushing 40 here soon. Well, the Lincoln Project has imploded. And it imploded because its founders planned for... its founder was, caught being a male feminist. I'll just put it that way. They had plans for a media empire like the Daily Wire, but that is all thrown out the window, and we're gonna read about why. If the meteoric rise of the Lincoln Project, a collection of longtime Republican operatives who branded themselves never-Trumpers, seemed to happen overnight, the organization's downfall has been just as dramatic. In the course of a week, damning report after damning report has come out about the group. That co-founder, John Weaver, allegedly, I have to say allegedly, alright, have fun at Target. I thought we had buttermilk. What? Anyway. Allegedly sexually harassed more than 20 young men. Allegations he acknowledged in an apology. Okay, so if he admitted it, then it's not allegedly. He admitted. So, John, let me fix it for you, Vanity Fair. I think the first time I've covered a Vanity Fair article. Let me fix it for you, Vanity Fair. John Weaver admitted to sexually harassing more than 20 young men. That it funneled more than $50 million of the roughly $90 million it raised into firms with ties to its members. That's not good. What? That's really bad. You can't do that. It's illegal. That senior members of the independent legal team hired by the Lincoln Project to perform a comprehensive review of its operations and culture are in fact donors to the super PAC themselves. Okay, so real quick, let me finish this paragraph and then I want to say something. If true, the stories which have blasted through the group with bombshell force represent a spectacular and horrific denouement. Alright. You all hear the term projection a lot. Projection is a thing that gets thrown around, especially on Twitter. What projection is basically you are accusing someone else of something that you are doing. Over the course of the last 4 years, we have seen mass projection from the likes of the Democratic Party and the progressives and the liberals. Actual projection. They are accusing people of doing what they do. They've called Trump a rapist. Well, apparently the founder admitted to being a sexual harasser. I don't know how much farther it's going to go into, but he did it with young men, 20 of them. They accuse him of breaking the law. I can't think of the word right now, but they're actively breaking the law. Not only are they funneling money to the people who are part of the project, this super PAC, this horrible business, but the lawyers that they hired to look in on themselves work for the Lincoln Project. That's illegal. That's like McDonald's hiring a manager of McDonald's to look into the store that they manage to see if everything is okay. I'm pretty sure it's going to turn out just fine. In response, many of the Lincoln Project's members have fallen back on their favorite mantra. Donald Trump is worse. That's right. It's alright that, they've lied. It's alright that they've stolen. It's alright that they cheated. Donald Trump is worse. That does not fly. You did bad. You did a bad. You need to take responsibility for that bad. And you need to be held accountable for that bad. You know who would be the happiest man in the world if he knew he'd never have to deal with the Lincoln Project again? Donald Trump! Tweeted co-founder Stuart Stevens last week. Pick a side. I'm with the Lincoln Project. You go ahead. You go ahead and be with the sexual harassers. You go ahead and be with the thieves. I'm okay with you admitting that you're a piece of shit. He then urged readers to stand with the group. Most effective super PAC in U.S. history, Stevens wrote. In fact, though the Lincoln Project's viral attack ads racked up millions of views, the videos seemingly didn't do much to accomplish their stated goal of swaying the GOP electorate. Trump received a larger share of the Republican vote nationally in 2020 than he did in 2016. You don't know. You know what responsibilities are, Allie. You have a responsibility to take care of Mitzi when she beats you in the skydiving thing. It's you know, you have promised her some really dirty things that I am not going to say on this stream because it will get it shut down. I'm pretty sure it's already going to be demonetized because I've gone against a lot of things. So I'm not going to state the depraved and dirty and just downright horrible things that you've said that you are going to do to Mitzi when you win. Those are your responsibilities. Others appeared resigned. Just shut it down already, wrote Kurt Bardella, who departed from his position as a senior advisor amid the whirlwind of bad press. George Conway, another since-departed co-founder, likewise tweeted that, at this point, shuttering the PAC is the right move. On Thursday, the Lincoln Project announced the formation of a transition advisory committee that will support the internal investigation of Weaver as well as stewardship report to outline its finances. Oh no, Wolf, you don't understand. Like, Allie got into in-depth descriptions of what she planned to do to Mitzi's Swiss Army butthole, and exactly how deep she was going to go, and how rough she was going to be. She said something about chains, possibly whips. She said hot wax. I know hot wax was there, and that Mitzi was going to get shaved. I mean, I didn't ask if it was her head or otherwise, but like, Allie has some really weird fetishes, and all of them are going to be performed on Mitzi when she wins. It's just kind of, it's a thing. Like, they have this thing going on. I don't know. As the organization flounders, its plans for the future have been thrown into doubt. The group's stars had planned to work for Israeli Prime Minister hopeful Gideon Sa'ar in his bid against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in an election that will be held in March. Sa'ar's campaign had brought on the Lincoln Project's Schmidt, Reed Galen, Stevens, and Rick Wilson a few weeks ago in the hopes that the group's aggressive attack ads would work against Netanyahu, but the relationship has since been dissolved, according to a Tuesday report in the Jerusalem Post. Just before the 2020 election, Axios reported that the Lincoln Project had potential plans for a sprawling media organization, Lincoln Media, and had been approached by several media and entertainment companies. We don't want to learn about that. Where is the... So they're not going to talk about... They don't talk about the sexual shit. They just gloss over that. They gloss over, okay, it says Schmidt, who alleged to have known about the allegations against Weaver as early as last March, but they just gloss over the fact that all of their main founders have jumped ship, that they stole $50 million. I mean, come on. You gonna just gloss over that? No one cares about what they planned on doing. All of this is absolutely ridiculous. You came back to some fun, Steve. Do I really care if my streams get demonetized? Not really. I don't. It's nice when they stay monetized. I don't get many views on them. Like, I'm not a huge YouTuber that gets thousands of views. I get pennies, which is fine too. I don't understand, like, where did conversation go? In this world of social media, where did conversation go? Like, what I want to do is, if there are any small creators you guys know, I want to know who they are. Like, I don't have a huge audience, right? But I would like to introduce you guys to some larger creators. Not larger creators, but other creators. So if you guys know somebody, or know someone that's trying to promote something, send them my way. Because what I want to do in a couple weeks is have a smaller creator, I guess, a smaller creator showcase. We'll bring them on, we'll talk to them, find out what they do, and try and lift people up. And I guess that's the problem. The problem I have with what we talked about today, with the white bullshit going into schools. It's not about propping up these students, right? It's not about teaching them what they need to do. It's not teaching them right from wrong. It's not teaching them how to learn, right? What it's doing is it's giving them an excuse. It's giving them an excuse to be failing. It gives them an excuse to be wrong. It gives them an excuse to be failures at life, right? Well, you got math wrong. Your bills are wrong because math is racist. Or white people are the problem. You're never on time because you didn't plan for it. You didn't plan for the future. That's because you're not white. You don't plan for your future like white people do. You're not on time. You don't have a schedule set like white people do. So you're a failure. You can blame the system. You can blame white people. You can blame all that bullshit on them. It's not giving them... To have people succeed in life, to have people succeed in business, in relationships, in friendships, in hobbies, you have to give them tools to do this. You have to give them the things that they need to grow stronger. You have to give them the tools that they need to grow smarter, to be successful. And in doing stuff like this, you are not giving them tools. You're actually taking it away from them. You're taking something away from them that allows them to grow. You're stunting them like cigarettes do to young teens. You stunt their growth to the point where they can't accomplish what they want to accomplish because they have been told from early on that they are the victim of something, and they will always be the victim of something, and that there's nothing that they can do whatsoever to overcome that victimhood, and they should just accept it. They should just accept that they are worse off than every other person around them. And that is doing a huge disservice to people. That is doing a huge disservice to young minds who have every opportunity ahead of them. And for them to be told, it's not your fault that you got it wrong. It's someone else's fault. You are just making another generation of victims. Instead, what you should be doing, and what you should simply be doing, is saying, yes, here, you got it wrong. Using 2 + 2 = 4 again. I know you think it means... I know you think the answer is 3. But it's not. Let's look at this a different way and find out how we get 4. You're still telling them they're wrong, but you're not crushing them to the point where they're going to go, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. You're giving them a challenge. And challenges are what this world, this next generation of students, this next generation of young adults needs, because it's not there. So I task you guys with this. Go out there and challenge yourself with something. Learn a new skill. I'm learning a new skill. I'm learning how to fucking... It's not a huge skill. I'm learning how to play a video game in a setting that I've never done before. A challenging game in a setting that I've never done before. And I failed pretty badly. But I'm pushing myself to learn. And to do that is more rewarding than anything you could ever be given. So I challenge you guys to do something. Do something that is going to push your limits of what you know about whatever subject it is. A simple one. Learn a new game. Go fishing. Learn to go fishing. Even better, put together a challenging puzzle. Because it makes you look at things a different way. And the more ways you can look at a problem, the more ways that you can find to solve a problem and get the same answer, the stronger you will become. It is a skill that you have to learn. It is a skill that you need in life to move on. Do not let people take it from you. Now, I don't know where we're going to go with this. I don't know when people are going to wake up and see how racist this shit is. But don't ever give in to that bigotry of low expectations. You're better than that. I don't care if you think you can't lift that 1,000-pound boulder because people are looking at you and saying you are a 5'6" woman. There's no possible way you can lift that 1,000-pound boulder. Prove them wrong. Train for it. Continue to work at it. Continue to do it until you accomplish what you set your goal to be. It is the only way that you're going to actually get ahead in life. You have to persevere. Do you think... Oprah and Madonna have been on my timeline this weekend because of dumb shit that they have said and done. Mainly Madonna. But do you think Oprah and Madonna got to where they were because they blamed other people for what happened to them? Or do you think they got to be the biggest names in the industry with the power behind just their name alone by giving up and blaming other people? Or do you think they fucking fought for it? Because I can guarantee you, and I'm saying that again, and I don't do that often, I guarantee you that they fought for everything that they have. And they are the powerhouses that they are because of it. They persevered through all of the trials and tribulations that they had to become the biggest names in their industry. Those people should be examples. Those people should be role models. You shouldn't be wondering when you're going to get your next check from the government for free. You shouldn't be wondering when the government is going to give you your allowance for groceries. You shouldn't be wondering when your boss is going to grant you your next raise. I have a very specific mindset when it comes to work. And it's a really good one to have, and I'm going to end it on this, guys. When I start a job, my goal, even at entry level, is not to stay at entry level. My goal is to look at the person above me and basically look at them and go, I'm taking your job. Now, I don't mean outright kick them out of their position, but I mean better yourself to that next position. And when you get to that next position, you look at the person higher than that and you go, I'm coming for your job. And so on, and so on, and so on. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be satisfying, and you will feel accomplished in your life. So challenge yourselves to do something out of the ordinary, something that you don't know how to do, something that is a challenge for you. And when you accomplish it, you'll feel good about it. So I hope you guys had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you all have a wonderful week. And MSNBC should be on Tuesdays, as far as I know. So I hope you all had a great time. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember, leave a comment down below. Help me get into that algorithm. Share this around. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And with all that being said, my name is Matt. This has been the Last Vox. Have a great night, everybody.